Bam! Welcome to the show tonight. Going live. Prosecutor Legal School. We provide what you need to shut down the court process. And, you know, I'm still at an undisclosed location. And so when I move from here and there and do whatever because I like to, you know, it's court from different places or whatever. And these people that run the show, they ask me questions. Neighbors, you packing? Yes, sir. And they said, that's a BB gun. I said, it is a BB gun. I have my other one. You know, you try, I don't know. I guess maybe it don't have a thing here. I don't know, something, but they knew it was a BB gun. And so they gave me a hard time. But, you know, I told them I have a problem with pigeons. Okay, so at this undisclosed location, my job, I worked for Airbnb for a couple of hours a day, sometime more. If I got messy ass, sorry, messy people. and this fancy Airbnb has a huge pool and all this stuff out back, and I got these pigeons that are pooping. Actually, I thought they was pooping in the pool and hanging around and stuff, but I found out when the pool guys showed up, okay, that the pigeons are hanging out. Well, I already knew where they're hanging out at because I've been eyeballing their asses. They've been hanging out on the roof up there early in the morning on the shaded side and the edge of the solar panels that's on the roof are right over the pool. So they poop up there and that poop went, and then went, and yeah, the pool guy told me this shit, okay? Because all I knew was that there was poop in the pool. And on my pool deck that I was having clean every day. So, yeah. And he told me that when the pool dries, because I'm in a place where the sun shines a lot, and when the wind blows, it blows poop in the pool. I said, yeah, I thought that's what was going on. Okay, back to the pigeon. Yeah, so my BB gun, I ain't trying to hit or kill the pigeons because the BB gun, you know, my boss has a pellet gun that's real good at that, but it's a rifle and you only get one shot. But with the BB gun, I'm just scaring them off the roof and scaring them off or whatever. So, and the BBs, you know, they're trained. They only go, they have, like, you know how you can train your dog, put their collar and the thing around the yard so the dog, yeah, you know, yeah. That's the way my BBs are. Okay, sorry. Okay, so welcome to the show tonight. Let's see now. Prosecutor Legal School, we provide the tools you need to get some stuff shut down. So in tonight's show, we're gonna give you guys an update on the post. I don't know how we said post eviction, post foreclosure eviction situation that's getting, you know, that's getting stuck in some people's face, and then we might talk about a couple other things along the way. Just getting everything lined up here. So Coach M is who, you know, I've been talking a little bit about her in the last couple of videos, and she okay, so I can tell from the words people use and how they, I don't want to say progress. I would say progress. How they move into the thinking mode that they should be, where they should be, to be in the ring with my people or in court, because right now we're in the ring. But y'all ask know that I have a football and boxing background, whatever. So it's either or in the ring. And the funny thing is that I played football for several teams, but when you get to the boxing part, it's just you. It's just you. It'd be like being a wrestler. You're the only one out there. You can't blame nothing on. Okay, come on now. Work with me. The thing here is to stay in the present or the future. Work with me. If you're a badass athlete, well, at least back in my day, I don't know what the hell they're trained now, but I can't see it being any different. If you're a badass athlete, you're trained to see that shit, to see that free throw going in. You're trained to see that 3-point shot, bam, going in. You're trained to see it all going in. And then you have to be willing to do whatever it takes to make that work out. So in tonight's video, we got Nikki Booth is here. Hey, what's up, Nikki? Good evening. Running just a tad bit late, but when you run a program that's structured from the real-time feedback from the people that's in the ring or in the court or in the live stream. Yeah, all right. Well, then you learn what you need to do to protect yourself or your property, your people, whatever, for in the now, not in the past. The non-conventional program that was structured by the same players, all of the players, all of them, they don't have to be judicial. If they're corporate, they're players too, because corporate and judicial are the same, pretty much. So the real-time feedback that we get from the people that's in the ring or the court help us put together what we're doing right now, and that real-time feedback is making a difference. Now, I wasn't sure if I was hoping. So in tonight's video, we're going to be talking about the update on situation, Coach M's situation. When she was facing I don't know. Well, she got evicted, but her stuff still in the property or whatever. And the only reason this happened was because she missed a step, and the step she missed was crushing the state court the state court process. The state court process is crushed when you file the first document in their shit. And it's crushed because you can use higher court case law in lower courts, but you can't go the other way. Okay? You can't use statutes and codes to answer to federal case law or federal acts. We use the federal acts to bring the criminal liability to the table for these people that are doing what they're doing. So you can't use statutes and codes to respond, answer, or whatever to federal case. Why? Because statutes and codes they're not valid laws. The statute that they use to foreclose on you, the statute that they use to arrest your ass and haul you to jail, the criminal statute that they use, even on the federal level, is not a valid law. In order for it to be a valid law, in my head, it has to have the three things that the Constitution says must be there, and that's, somebody help me. Oh, the three things that constitute, the three elements, and this is a better way to put it. Because some people have to go and look it up. And that's fine if you got time. Okay, but the three elements are the three elements that must be present for something to be a valid law are an enacting clause, which tells everybody from what authority the law comes from and who's subject to following it. Now, why is that not on a statute and code? On a statute? Because then everyone would know that the statute is from a corporation like freaking Walmart. And no one's subject to following it unless you're a U.S. citizen. And nobody can be a U.S. citizen because you can't be born in a fake-ass corporation. There, I said it. Statutes and codes are not valid laws. And you can't respond to federal case law or federal acts with a statute. So if you invest in my program, the first document that you file in state court is going to be a route for the whole state court process because they're not going to be able to respond to it. I'll tell you what they're going to do, and I tell you this in the they're going to move it over to federal court, and then they're going to tell their buddies over in federal court that they still have jurisdiction because they moved it. And then they're going to tell you they move your case over to federal court. Oh, now I don't have to pay the $400. No, you don't have shit in federal court. The thing that y'all ass need to remember is that these people lie when their mouth's moving. Now, a year or 2 years ago, or whatever, I helped my sister with a foreclosure situation, or at least that's what I said she was. And I asked her, how can you tell when attorneys are lying? And she thought for about that long. And she said, you can tell when attorneys are lying because they're breathing. Oh, yeah, that was pretty hot. And then, in my head, I was thinking, okay, she had a more fire answer than what I was putting on the table. Remind me not to screw with her. But we on the same team. Oh, that's right. That's my BB gun. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I'm getting in a sidetrack. Okay, so the situation with Coach M is they slid past her and responded to her state court stuff by moving it. And the long and the short of it is, for everybody who invests in my program is, I got to drink my tea for a second because my throat's getting dry. It don't matter where they move it. They can move it to federal court. They still can't respond to it with statutes and codes. Nope. They still cannot respond to it with statutes and codes. Oh, I always have I always have that one or two people. Oh, wait, coach, but no, there's no buts. The only way that these state level people could respond to the stuff that you purchase on my website is if they hired a federal attorney. And I've been through that shit. My girlfriend, I didn't know, she must be busy tonight because she's not here, so maybe she had something come up. She could tell you. And responding to this stuff or worrying about, that's their conventional program. And in their conventional program, they pay people to help you. This is why you got to do the shit yourself. Okay, so Coach M got evicted. Her stuff's still in the house, and I wasn't sure she'd make it tonight because she's living with someone else, and she would have to like go outside and do video on her phone or whatever. And so we talked for a while, and I told her that's fine. Okay. So she got it. She just missed one step. So what I did for her is kind of the same thing I did for Anthony, who is we're having him get out of jail. We're having her get back in the house. So I put together a package, a new supplemental pleading, which is how we make changes to anything that we file. We don't waste no time doing an amendment and all that bullshit. We do a supplemental pleading. We make the if you want to learn how to do that, go to the Forelosure Civil Procedure and pull up, file an amendment, and scroll down to the bottom, down, all the way down to the very bottom, right above that little tiny ass number. It'll tell you what you need to be able to do a supplemental pleading. And supplemental pleading comes from, well, in my opinion, from common law side of this bullshit. So that should say a lot about that. So you do a supplemental pleading. And so in Coach M's situation, I put together a supplemental pleading for her, and I sent over to send them. And this supplemental pleading I put together for her is going to be included in the premium package, the foreclosure defense premium package. And in this supplemental pleading that I put together for her, we added the land bank that's in her state. And we also added the Register of Deeds office and their assets. And I actually emailed it over to all of the judges in both North and South Carolina, all the chief justices, just like I did with Anthony. Now we haven't got Anthony out yet, and we're still working on that. But I emailed it over to him, and so Marquita invested in the premium package, so she already had all. So I emailed that stuff over to him, and I actually sent her a copy of it. Now, if you invest in the premium package, you also will get a copy of the affidavit of denial of corporate existence. And I sent that over to her too. Now, I told her not to rush around because she was rushing around trying to, do all I know. Because the fact of the matter is, the first punch you stick in their face that you get from me is a wrap. Because statutes and codes cannot be used to respond to federal case law. Oh, why didn't the attorney that you was talking to tell you that shit? They had you come down and spend 45 minutes, an hour and a half in his or her office. Why didn't they tell you that shit? I don't know. I'm not that smart. Why didn't the attorney tell you that when they file foreclosure against your property, or when they come after your ass for criminal, shit, it don't matter. Why didn't your attorney tell you that you can file a counterclaim in their shit for $200 million? Why didn't the attorney tell you can file a counterclaim in that shit for $200 million? And address the fact that they're coming after you with statutes and codes. Oh, statutes and codes that aren't valid laws. Okay, I'm trying not to get too wrapped up in this and act like that y'all have to understand. Okay? Because I have people that message me, I have people call me, oh, the foreclosure situation, okay, does your stuff work in my state? Oh. In your state? Oh, you haven't watched no videos, have Oh, no, the state level shit is that. It's just what I said. And we don't even play around. We crush that shit with statutes and codes. We crush the statutes and codes with federal acts and federal case law that trump that shit. They can't answer. So in my non-conventional program, in my head, when you get done crushing the state court, because that's what our goal is here, to stop the court process, you can add the judge, the state, the federal government, the prosecutor, all of those assholes, you can add to the counterclaim as plaintiffs, which is adding them to their own shit. Okay. I don't really need to take a sip of my tea here, but I'm going to anyway. Why didn't the attorney tell you that? Why don't other people tell you that? I'm hiding out in an undisclosed location and I don't give a shit. Okay, so for y'all, for those of you who watch my videos all in my time, I don't give a crap anyway. They come for me. They can roll up for me anytime right now, okay, and I already know what to do, okay? Because, and if you want to know my story or why I do this, go to my YouTube channel and search my story, okay? I already know. They show up at your house. They don't have warrant to get in your house, but you open the door and let them in. Okay, but they show up at like 6:30 in the morning. So somebody's up getting coffee and cooking breakfast, and somebody's still asleep. Oh, so whoever is still asleep, they have to run up. Oh, now they're upstairs or over in the master bedroom getting somebody else. Yeah. Oh, looking around. Oh, there's some going. Why y'all searching my shit? Oh yeah, I've been arrested like what? I don't know, 14 times or 12 times. I can't. It's all part of the beatdown. It's all part of the beatdown. So Marquita is set herself up in a situation now where she's challenging the people who bought her property. And she's challenging them, well, all the shit that she's doing in our program, whatever. Okay. But she's been communicating with them. And she's been communicating with them. And Okay, so she told me she hadn't been talking trash. So I think they got, oh, wait, I included their asses in the emails that I sent out. An email that I sent out with her new supplemental pleading and added the land bank and recorded deeds office or whatever. And I told them if her ass ain't back in her house in a short amount of time, okay, because right now the original document she bought was a few weeks ago, and it was only five. Okay, it was a little longer than that. It was $5 million for the lawsuit. Well, after messing around with my foster kid and dealing with these people in Kansas and crushing the divorce court, yeah, $200 million. So that got their attention. So we're gonna be doing another supplemental pleading as soon as we get the deficiency cleared up. Ow. When we get the deficiency cleared up, then we're going to be doing that supplemental pleading of $200 million. Okay, but in what we put in their face, we let them know what the deal was, and that she's not in her house in a short amount of time. We're going to be coming to the table with $200 million. And we'll also let them know that, and I actually just instructed her to do these things in the video so they would see what we're up to. Yeah, I'd like them all to see what we're up to. Okay, because when they see what we're up to, and they know they can't do shit to stop us. So I told her that when she gets done doing what she needs to do, she needs to make sure that she provides a file stamp copy of her new supplemental pleading to all of the people, including the sheriff's department or whoever it is, the people that's trying to take over her property at her house or whatever. Okay, but she's been watching these people on the Ring camera. I'm assuming this part, the Ring camera. Okay, and so they've been paying and doing all this stuff. So she went over there and talked to them and to let them know that there's pending shit going on in federal court and they leave her shit alone. And her legal team said, and they told her, well, and I'm just gonna throw this on the table because it is what it is, and I'm real 24/7. They told her, if your legal team is such a badass, why don't you have a cease and desist letter? Ouch. Did I just punch myself? Okay. No, I didn't. The real-time feedback is what we use. Ow. Okay. So Coach M went home. Those of you who are keeping up with me, email me. I mean, right now. It's 8:46 where I'm at. And so whatever it is where you're at, if it's 46, I'll know. Those of you who know where I'm going with this, email me. Okay? So Coach M, she wasn't happy with the situation. And she contacted me and we kind of, well, if you invest in my premium package, then this is what you get. The coaching. If you invest in a premium package, the communication situation is you text me, I have a question, and what the question is in short, and I get back to you. No, you don't call me at 7:00 in the morning and all that stuff. All right, Coach M decided she wasn't having it. I sent her over the supplemental pleading, and she went down. Well, she didn't file it yet. She went down. The first thing she filed, and I didn't tell her to file this, because when you get in this eviction process, it's very emotional, especially if your stuff's still in the house. She went down and talked to those people, and they told her, "Well, where's your cease and desist letter?" So she went home and made one. Oh, and took it back down and stuck it in their face. And they took it and they left. And they haven't been back since. Now, I don't know if all these people who are thinking about sending me this, how long it's since. I don't know how long since was. I know since was 9 now. 6 since was at least 8 hours ago. I don't know. But that's not the point. And see, for you people who are thinking how long since and whatever, all that shit, those are the people who put limitations on themselves. Those are the people who put limitations on themselves. Okay, so right now, the situation is, and I'm going to go here from the words that Coach M used, and I'm going to infer that she's been watching the video on a Ring camera or whatever. And she said that since she actually, okay, it's coming. She actually had a process server serve them her cease and desist letter. For y'all ass who ain't figured out how to take a sip when it's freaking hot, she had them be served a cease and desist letter. That was pretty badass. After they told her that, yeah, she went home and she made one, and she stuck it in their face. I mean, I can sit here for like 5 minutes on that shit. No, she didn't call me or text me or ask me, and I gave this young person a hard time in the beginning because it was hard to get her head out of the fear. Her hair was stuck in the fear. I'm just lucky it worked out. Okay. I'm a coach all the time. And that's just the way I am. Now, after raising kids and having daughters and doing foster care, I raised 3 we raised 3 superheroes. Okay. And we did foster care for 17, oh my God, 17 years. And we've had 28 other kids, 1, 2, or 3 at a time over that period of time. And I'll tell you right now, there's nothing more, well, okay. There's only one thing more. I didn't think this whole thing through in my notes. There's only one thing more gratifying to me than making a difference in a kid's life. And that's kicking these people's ass or teaching y'all how to do it or whatever. Okay, so Coach M served them her cease and desist letter. Now, keep in mind, she filed a lawsuit. They moved it to federal court, whatever, and then she's going to file a supplemental pleading, but she hasn't filed it yet. The coach said she should let that, and this is, I don't know, maybe it's a new service. I don't know. It's very expensive. Okay. Coach Jim came to the table with an offer that moved her to like third in the list. Okay, but you know what? The real-time feedback, what we're using here, and she's a total badass because I have to sip my tea. Because she put up with my shit and she's still here kicking ass, ready to rock and roll. And I let her know that I apologize a little bit for some of the shit that I gave her because she's okay. But you know what? When you're a coach, and yo soy muy viejo. Okay, when you're a coach, the bottom line and getting the shit done is the most important thing. Now, I'm learning along the way. I'm learning how to communicate better with people. I'm learning how to be more patient. But don't call my ass at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, even if I like you and I have something saved by your name, and I'm in Mountain Standard Time right now, just to be clear. I don't go to bed till really late in the morning. 7 o'clock is not the time that I want to be up talking to someone about something. And if I hang up on you, I just hit it, and then the second time you call me back in like 2 seconds, maybe 4. No, it's 2. I think I'm on speed dial. Damn. Oh, and the second time you call me back, and I answer the phone grumpy, and I tell you, dude, I'm still asleep. It's 7 o'clock here. And I hung up on you already, whatever. And you start telling me about your situation. I'm just going to block you. Okay? I'm just going to block you. Sorry, but that's the way that shit goes. Okay, wait. Before I block you, my girlfriend's been trying to teach me how to be a little nicer. And she's not here even to back me up tonight because she got busy. Before I block you, I'm going to let you know that I'm still sleeping or I'm busy or whatever. And it's going to be important for you to remember that, number one, if you're calling about legal shit or whatever, and it's, you might not be at the front of the line. And number 2 is I'm not a morning person. Oh, and I tell you that, well, so yeah, it's gonna. So Marquita right now has her supplemental plea, and she's gonna take down on Tuesday because it's a holiday weekend. But she already stuck her affidavit of denial of corporate existence, excuse me, in their face. I wasn't gonna say up anything. I was gonna up in their face. That's all right. Come on, work with me here. So when she went down to put that in their face, the legal team here at Pro Se Legal School had already emailed them over copies of the stuff that was, well, it wasn't signed, but it said Pro Se Legal School, just like we did for Anthony where Anthony's been held in federal custody in a shithole county jail. And so we're in Richland County, North Dakota, if I remember correctly. Oh, and so yeah, we're working to get him out. And so now Okay, now the eviction program is in a let me put it this way. The eviction program, there's a Coach M is setting a different posture for them for the eviction program. She figured out that they wanted so in their administrative crap, okay, the C's letter. So she went home and she made one. And she emailed it to me. And well, you can't really email me stuff if I'm working with you closely without letting me know, because people's account get hijacked. And then I had, I have this spam, I have this stuff situation and malware, whatever. Oh my God. Yeah, but she emailed me her situation. And so now we put together a program for Makita. She's just going to wait until Tuesday. Everything that she needs to have filed, well, we sent them. She went down and she filed her affidavit of denial of corporate existence. In my opinion, and I'm just going to throw this on the table. In my opinion, that document is more badass than any shit that I have on my website. I'm just saying. If we were in judicial everything and everything was everything, and everything was right the way it's supposed to be, but yeah. Okay, but having that document with my stuff, so she went down and filed that and got that file. Now, keep in mind, she'd already filed this stuff, and they bypassed her because she didn't realize that they can't respond to statutes and codes or whatever. And so, okay, so that's kind of where we're at now. So when she went down to file her affidavit of denial of corporate existence, she said it was real quiet in that place. It was real quiet. It was different. Now, when you file my shit, you will learn. I mean, if you already been dealing with them and down there, like telling them everything and all that, no offense, you'll feel the difference. She felt the difference. She felt the difference. And she filed her affidavit of denial of corporate existence. And I'm just gonna say, I'm really impressed with Coach M. I am, because in the beginning, I didn't think there wasn't fear, but there was too much emotion. There was too much emotion. And the emotional response to being involved in being a legal coach, if you're protecting your own shit or whatever, it's bad. I'm the coach over here, and I tell people I'm the one that gets to be emotional. Because I got time to figure it out later on and decide if I need to apologize or not or whatever. Y'all asses don't have time to be emotional, because when you're emotional, you miss shit. You don't see, you don't understand how to. When you're emotional, you miss stuff. Coach, what the hell are you talking about? If Coach M hadn't put up with my shit, when they told her, what the hell is your legal team? Why you don't have a cease and desist letter? It wouldn't have registered in her head. It would not have registered in her head to go home and make that shit and go stick it in their freaking face. All right, sorry. I'm getting a little The goal here is for you guys to understand how to jumpstart your critical thinking process and get your ass out of their conventional bullshit. She went home and made her, And not only did she go home, and I was hoping she'd be here tonight and tell her own story, but when she's actually out of her house or even staying with somebody else, whatever, she went home and made her own cease and desist letter. That's what the new owner of the property told her. Well, if your legal team was that bad, where's your cease and desist letter? Okay, slow down. The real-time feedback is what we use to build what we got here. And I haven't had very many people that had the courage and the stamina. And I'm a badass asshole to keep the pressure on these assholes after the eviction process. Now, I'm not judging anybody. And my ass been locked up for 33 months, shipped all around, sent back for the forced medication order. That's worse than having shit thrown out in the yard. I ain't judging anybody. What I'm saying is, if you're willing to get your head out of their conventional shit and get over here on the non-conventional side. So right now, the posture of the situation where her is with her family and these assholes is she's been watching the ring camera, and after serving them, after she had them served without even checking with me. Bam! Oh, I love it. Okay, she had them serve the cease and desist letter. Who the hell does that shit? Yeah, that's gonna be one of our things in the online course that we put together. And for the smart people who listen to this shit who are already invested in the program, okay, so y'all ass shouldn't be working on it now because you need to hear there's some other shit or whatever. But when we get done, the cease and desist letter. I'm thinking, okay, wait, the $5 million lawsuit and all that shit. Oh, maybe that didn't matter because they're so used to being in their conventional program. They're just going to assume that you have an attorney and that he's now black. I just decided to make that racist. They're just going to assume that, So right now, Coach M is sitting at a crossroad. The crossroad is at some point, their ass when it sat the hell down. I was gonna say F, but I said hell. And at some point, you have to step up and finish crushing their ass. Now I'm talking about in the eviction process. Actually, all of the shit, but right now let's just stay focused on the post-eviction process and getting back in your house. If you serve them the shit and they ain't coming over there no more or whatever, at some point, and this is I told Coach Jim, at some point, you got to go over there and get back in your house. Because she said, "Oh, you mean change the locks?" Oh, no. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. I don't do that. I don't tell you what to do. Okay? But what I'm telling you is, in my head, at some point, when you got their ass backed up in the in the freaking corner, you're going to have to challenge their ass and take total control of the situation. At some point. And then she said, "Oh, well," I said, "No, there's no, oh, well, let me finish. If they went and sat down after you served them the, cease and desist letter, and you have your supplemental pleading perfecting, not correcting, okay? Remember the words perfecting your claim, your lawsuit that you filed against. Oh, the one that you filed after you before you added the plaintiffs to their own shit. Then, okay, so now there's a situation, and and so they're going to have to decide how they will handle it. The new owners got an email when I sent the blast email out to all of the people, and Coach Jim said when she went down there to file her affidavit of denial of corporate existence, it was real quiet. Ain't nobody said nothing to her. Now, I asked her, and she'd been talking shit down there. Oh no, she said. And I only asked her that to screw with her because she's real. Well, most people in a situation, and no offense to her or anybody, but most people in a situation are very nervous. It's very nerve-wracking to think about having shit thrown out in the yard. They have them people knocking on your door in the morning at 6 o'clock. It's very nerve-wracking. She said her stuff's still in the house, and after she gave them the the document they take cease and desist letter, she ain't heard nothing from them. So I told her, well, I don't know. As a game plan, I ain't telling you what to do, but as a game plan, I'll have, the locks changed. Oh, wait, the locks changed? Yeah, like they did when they thought they had your ass beat. Oh, no, hold on. Now we're back to what we were talking about before. Okay? If you're not hiding out at an undisclosed location where you can do shit and you don't have to worry about nobody rolling up on you until they get past the cars at the gate. If you got kids, you're staying with family, whatever. You know what? Okay, in Prosecutor, we keep it real because we freaking been there. Okay? So I'm going to coach you to the end. I'm going to coach you to the end. Okay, well, not. I'm just making a point. I didn't hold up the BB gun. I'm going to coach you to the end. And your asses need to figure out where the liability is, where the end is, where, you got kids, you got family, you're staying with friends, whatever. I understand that. I don't have time to include all that shit in the coaching. No offense. That's what I tell her. And the cool thing is that this stuff that I'm talking about with you guys now, it still is the real-time feedback that I'm learning from communicating with badass people who are done kissing their ass. And so, so what we decided was, and I'm fine with this. Okay, we talked, and the supplemental pleading wasn't really enough for her to risk everything to change the locks, especially when she could already see that they stopped. Well, that came out later, because none of that matters for me. My job is to put you guys in position so you're creative and whatever, and then it's your job to figure out where you want to risk your shit on the thing. And I'll tell you right now, okay, I respect you wherever you choose, okay, because number one, you already chose to be in the freaking program and to kick these people's ass. And I know that you have family that you have to protect while you're kicking their ass. And you take a sip. So I talk shit on whatever, but please be aware, I've been there. I know what the deal is. I know what the deal is. So you have to figure out where you're at on the scale as far as, taking your knockout punch opportunity. Okay, because if you don't take your knockout punch opportunity at the right time, there might be some some blowback. Ow. Shattered by corruption. Yeah, this is my girlfriend's book. So I always want to put it out there and let everybody see it, whether she's here or not. I know if she's not here, she has something important that came up. And this is just a little bit about what we've been through to, okay, I'm looking at the camera to get to where we are right now. Okay, so hang on a second, I gotta sneeze. Okay, I hope I didn't blow you guys' eardrums out. I'm in a dusty place where we got planes leaving and going and coming and going and stuff. Okay, so let's just say hi to everybody. Good evening, Nikki. Oh, Mark, that sounds like that don't sound like you're using my stuff. That sounds like conventional stuff, and they're going to do shenanigans and conventional stuff because they made the rules for the conventional stuff. They call them local rules. They're not connected to the Constitution. They're not connected to the federal laws or anything. They're not connected to. They're connected to. They're connected to their bank account. So the unrecorded deed to your recorded deed and affidavit of unfixed or recorded litigations showing I don't know what any of that means. What I know is that when the property is sold, it's the deeds is registered in their office as part of their program. They lie to people and they tell them that we need to register your deeds so we can make sure that your property don't get it, whatever. And that registration of the deed allows the first illegal lien to be put on your property. And the first, in my opinion, and my whatever from the first illegal lien was the mortgage lien. Because think about it this way: if there were several people on property, all those people have to be present to sign that lien. And the fact that the alleged lender accepted your signature on it proved that, or you and your spouse or whatever proved that you owned it already. And I smell stink. So, Mark, in our program here, okay, so anytime you do things in their conventional program, you might as well just go and throw your shit out in the yard. I'm just saying, the conventional program was structured to do exactly what it's doing. The property transfer. Okay, how many people have a land bank in your state or county? We'll go state, because some states they took so much shit they don't need very many. How many people have a land bank in okay. The Register of Deeds Association, in my opinion, is where that shit starts. When they register your deed in the county, whatever, the county, whatever, registers it in the Association of Deeds Registration. And you can this is my opinion. And once it's registered in the Register of Deeds Association, and this is why we add their ass to the lawsuit. We add the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court comes up with the local rules that you screw over. The Register of Deeds Association, when your shit is registered there, that allows all of these other sub-state corporations to list your property on this shit. Anybody ever wonder why you could be in a non-judicial foreclosure? You found out, okay, in a non-judicial foreclosure, they do the foreclosure without going through court, without serving you a petition, whatever. They send you a letter saying you got 30 days. So now it's a default letter. You got 30 days to cure this shit or they're going to sell you. Okay, in a non-judicial foreclosure, in 30 days, they sell your shit in non-judicial foreclosure. Okay, wait. And my question is, how could that happen? Y'all ass know the government, okay, drags their feet. Ain't no way in hell they're going to do it. How could they sell you shit in 30 days and non-judicial? Oh, wait. They already have your shit registered in a computer on the administrative side. The administrative side of shit. That's shit that's the side we don't want to be on here. The administrative side of shit has your stuff registered already. And in my opinion, when you're in non-judicial foreclosure, or even sometimes judicial foreclosure, before you even know it, you got these realtors and these property investors, like the assholes that getting sued now, showing up at your house, wanting to take pictures, acting like you agreed to give your shit away after you've been paying on it for a long period of time. For a freaking day, I don't give a crap. They show up at your house. Now, that shit happens because your shit's registered in there. And they're coming after you with statutes and codes. The foreclosure statute in judicial foreclosure is total bullshit. The judicial foreclosure, they're coming after you with statutes and codes that aren't valid laws don't have acting laws titles. I got to get my fingers worked out in case my grandkids yell at me. Or bodies. People don't realize that. People are so indoctrinated into believing all this bullshit that they trained us to believe. Oh, I have you going, oh, does your stuff work in my state? Ow! People like communicate me on, oh, well, I just saw the video. Go to the website that's mentioned at the end of the video and educate yourself. Because, I used to sell cars a long time. I used to sell Kias before they start burning up in people's driveway. And after they were able to make it up to the top of the hill. Okay, sorry. So, when you communicate with me, I'm going to need to hear in my program how the shit that you're bringing to the table is something. I don't want to hear all the bullshit that you put up with way the hell back there. I already know that shit. No offense to anybody. Do your homework. Do your homework. You can go to the website at winningcourtnow.com. That's showing right across the screen there. You can pull up all of the different packages that we have for the different situations. And keep in mind that our situations aren't so much different. They're really not. They're not. Our situations address the reason why they're able to violate you as opposed to so much what they did. The reason they're able to violate you was because you thought you were going into a judicial court, even though your attorney told you it was and they lied or whatever. Oh, you thought you were going in there and you were in. Okay, let me put it this way. You thought you were going to a judicial court in your head based off all the things that you believe growing up, whatever. And when it got right down to the program, you were in a administrative court. And you're getting, how you say, hosed by the administrative rules that the Supreme Court structured. The Supreme Court structured the administrative rules that, and those rules aren't connected to the Constitution. They're not connected to federal civil rights. In my opinion, the only thing those rules are connected to are estate players' bank accounts and stuff. Oh, thank you, Frederick. Welcome to the show tonight, man. And Mark, I'm glad you showed up too. I didn't mean to, but the thing is the thing, and we've learned that by getting out of their conventional program, it gives you the best chance to make them go and sit down. There's no way that we're going to make them, I know, give us anything. No, they're not givers. They're only take shit stuff. Sorry. then they're not givers. But thank you for showing up tonight, Frederick. Let's talk. Welcome to the show. And I know this ain't your first time. Yeah. So I have AED. So yeah. Okay. So you're right. The attorneys filed a motion for more time. Well, you're almost right. It's not more time. I mean, it looks like more time to us, but it's for more money. Uh, think about it. They found that shit for more money. Más dinero, por favor. More money, please. That's what that means. More money. And the thing that makes it sad for everybody, the attorneys have found their more money. And so what happens when you run out? I'm hoping y'all ass get over to Prosecutor Legal School before you run out of money, because you need some money. You need a little bit of money. Okay, sorry. I'm getting tracked to the side. Hey, there's Coach M. What's up, Coach M? So tell us about when you went down to file your affidavit of denial of corporate assistance, and about how you could, the situation there, the feeling in the air. You said you thought they were kind of quiet, and I wasn't sure you're gonna make it, so I already kind of told them the thing that we're gonna, but just tell us, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say hi to some other people that are here, Coach M. But just right in there, anything that you want everybody to know about the situation, and mainly about the letter that they told you that you needed to provide them. Yeah, what the hell call that, the cease and desist letter? Now I'm just gonna go down and say hi to everybody else, Coach M. So you can just, I know there's some time. There's like time lag in between talking and doing stuff or whatever. So you just do you. Oh, oh, Let's Talk Records said they cannot answer to. Well, it's not my fire. I mean, I appreciate it, but after you pay for it, it's yours. Okay, sorry. That's yeah. They can't. They cannot answer. And I know. I got people saying, "Okay, Coach. Okay, you said that about state shit, but I'm in federal." The federal shit is administrative as well. The federal shit is administrative as well, unless you got their ass or they have your ass. Let me put that this way. Unless you have their asses, or unless they have your ass in, the only judicial court that I know is available is the National Court of Trade. It used to be called the botanical something, I don't know. It was some stupid shit. The International Court of Trade is the only judicial court that I believe is available. Well, excuse me, around, because it ain't available. And the only reason why that court is still here, in my opinion, from my research, is because when it took away the statute at large and came forward with the statutes and codes bullshit that they're using, other countries knew that was administrative bullshit and that they wouldn't have any chance in our court system if there was a contractual dispute. Oh, and you wonder why these other countries think we're so stupid. Well, not all of us. Oh, so they had to save this court in order to have some international trade. And I communicated with them back in 2017. Yeah. And so the people that invest in my premium package, one of the Tucker's Act that we have, we mentioned in as one of our cause of actions, the Tucker's Act is actually a federal law. It's a federal act, and it holds the state players liable when they violate your Fifth Amendment right of due process in federal court. Not only that, it was structured for a real judicial court, which is the International Court of Trade or the mechanical, these whatever. Yes, okay, Coach, you're mumbling. Okay, so when I did my research, in my opinion, you should be able to access that court from any federal court building. Think about it. So when you come to the table with one of my premium packages that has the Tucker's Act as a cause of action, did you let their asses know that they need to put that in the only judicial court that there was? Because it ain't is, because they don't let our asses get in it. But they know what the hell it is. They know what the hell it is. And, when it comes right down to it, they're taking our ass in the administrative court. And I tell people, oh, sue the judge, sue the state. Oh, but Coach, okay, you know what? I didn't even want to hear it no more. Okay, because we need to sue their asses for what they're doing. And if you do this right, they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to respond. They're not going to be able to respond. And, if they do respond, it's going to be with bullshit and trying to move it over to federal court, because we already jammed their ass up they can't respond with statutes and codes. So they're screwed. I don't know. Okay. So my boxing analogy, I don't really like to knock people out. I like to make them give up. I like to make them just give up. Tap out, go sit the hell down. But not everybody is freaky like that. So we're kind of setting this up to go both ways. And the way I see it, you can get in the premium. You can get one of the premium packages now, partially eliminated package or the foreclosure defense package, and make them go sit the hell down. And you know, and I tell people, the only guarantee that I have is if you do this right, you're gonna have some fun. You're gonna have some fun if you do this right. Coach Jim says she's backstage. No, she's front and center. She is front and center, and she's also on the team captain. Yeah, well, when you play football, you have team captains. Then when you box, it's just you. But when you play football, you have team captains. Okay, and here's the thing. In my opinion, a team captain, and in football, they pick a different one every week. That's bullshit. A team captain is a team captain from the time that person is picked as a team captain to the time that person. Okay, Coach Young, I'm not rushing you, but until they throw dirt on that person's face, okay? I'm not I'm not rushing you to the dirt throwing part on anybody's face. I'm sure I'm going to be there before you, because okay. So like I said earlier, I'm very visual, and when I talk, I'm visual, and sometimes that causes me some issues or misunderstandings. All right, JP, it's time for you to get the lighter out. I use to light my barbecue grill. Oh, okay. Yeah, and so my grandma smoked cigarettes and stuff, so I use it to help my grandma too. So, oh, you see how where you stand. Oh, this is getting hot. I think those people, attorney. Oh wait, with the email that I sent them. So Coach M was very thorough in sending me all these people's information. So when I sent the email out to the judges and the courts, whatever, in North Carolina, they I also included the the property owners, the manager, all of those people. So okay, cause you guys already know that the attorneys for these people that bought that stole your property or stealing your property, we'll say bought, because they did buy it, figuratively speaking, stolen property. Okay, so we'll say they bought stole just okay, so these people are liable if, and I told Coach Jim, I'm telling this, and the fraudulent concealment tolls the statute of limitations for this foreclosure bullshit. Fraudulent concealment. Actually, fraudulent concealment tolls statute of limitations for any of their bullshit. If you can prove that it was fraudulently concealed, oh, then all of the other stuff that we're saying in the lawsuit is like, running right in behind it. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's y'all can read that shit. That's pretty badass right there. She gave them what they wanted. And haven't been back since Tuesday. Today is, I don't know, what's today? Oh, they're like, okay. That's like to beat down with the BB gun. That's like to beat down with the BB gun. Now, I know some of you guys are thinking, that looks like a real gun, but it's a BB gun. And you can see right there, that's the little thing. You put the BBs in there. It looks like a regular bullet, but you put the BBs in the middle or whatever, and that's, you're beat down with the BB gun. So Coach M is getting ready to file her temporary restraining order to also restrain these people, and then she's going to be getting her lawsuit filed in federal court. But if we need to, but we're not in a hurry to do that because she already had a lawsuit filed in federal court. And the magistrate judge, who doesn't have judicial authority to be involved in your case without signed consent from all parties, screwed her over. Made rulings in her case on the federal level without judicial authority. And the ruling that the judge made, just locked, if I remember correctly, the ruling that the judge made was made with, come on, help me here, a finding of facts and a conclusions of law, which means that they just moved her ass, her case's ass, and her ass. Somebody's ass is at, okay, sorry. I'm stuck on ass. To their administrative court. The ass got moved over to the administrative court where they can do whatever they want because they're operating from the rules that they structured for each local rules that they structure for each location. So they aren't connected to shit except their people's bank account. Uh-huh. Okay, so at this point, and Coach Jim and I have been talking a little. We've been communicating and talking a little. And this is really cool because I haven't had someone who post eviction got everything done in the manner that I am requesting to make a difference. Oh, wait, the manner that I'm requesting. She's all over it. Oh, so now they're in a situation where now this is not something to offer for everybody on all of the packages, okay? Coach M invested in my premium foreclosure defense package. She missed a step, and then in our negotiations, okay, and she came to the table with a donation, and that donation was a donation for show appreciation for what we're doing, what we've done already to help her, like drag these people on. And also was a donation to help somebody else get in the program. How much was it, Coach? Oh, it was a donation enough to get my attention to, and I was going to tell you, like I with Amanda and Anthony or whatever, the young man were getting out of jail. Okay. Helping these people, whatever. I'm just doing this shit for myself. I just, I think about it. I'm doing this shit for myself too. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all asses. Okay? Because here's the thing. I couldn't protect my girlfriend or my family or anybody else years ago when it jumped up in my face. So I spent a large majority of my time in life after that getting myself in a position. Well, my goal was getting my girlfriend out of jail. And I gave them such a hard time. I know they let her out a little early. Okay, but now the prosecutor eliminated a lawsuit package is and I've sold quite a few of them. Okay, but people have to sign a non-disclosure statement. But I don't have to sign a non-disclosure statement, and I'll help them out and get Anthony out or whatever. So, ow. Okay, so I'm posting this up here again. Okay, because this is pretty badass. The goal of being in this program is jumpstart your critical thinking process to understand who's screwing you over and what your game plan is. This young lady did all this shit, and she didn't call me. She didn't check with me. She didn't, Oh, I'm I'm pretty impressed. This young lady did all of this shit, and she brought some shit to the table. She brought value to the table for everybody. And that value is send their ass a cease and desist letter. Okay. Rolling without limitations. Okay. Y'all ass know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, the cease and desist letter?
Hey, Coach.
Hey, I just figured there's a thing down here that I need to click on so you can talk. Okay, I blame this stuff on my wife, my girlfriend, but they all understand, so I only blame it on my dog now because she don't. Oh, I'm sorry about that. So The thing with your to me to click on is right behind my camera, so I didn't even see that you. Welcome to the show, young lady. I'm sorry for talking for you. Anyway, I'm real impressed at what you've done. So I'm sure you hear me. This is pretty badass. That you figured out. That's serve them that shit. Okay, sorry.
Well, I definitely have been learning from the best. And yes, we have a love-hate relationship. I have been one has been blocked, but I kept on going because I know the fire in the documents. So it's like, even though I got evicted out of my home, it's like I'm even more hyped about the situation because I'm learning more. And coach is the coach. Oh, he don't play no games. You better respect it, and that's it. And I'm learning that through the process. So it's like, no, I'm not gonna bother him. I got this. I sent this text to them 6 o'clock in the morning. He not up, so I need to do something now. So I'm grateful. I am very grateful for where I'm at today. And I can't wait to keep punching these people in the face because, yeah, they put me and my 6 kids outside. He told me I had 36. But yeah, they put us out. And I can honestly say I'm learning more in the process than what I was doing it from the beginning. And I'm very, very grateful. And thank you so much, Coach.
You're welcome, sweetie. Yeah. So in the beginning of our relationship, when I was talking to Coach M, we were talking, and she was telling me, "Oh, I have 6 kids," and so then later on, at the end of 15, 20 minutes, maybe it was a little longer. I said, "Well, we want to make sure we're here to do whatever we can for anybody that got 36 kids." and 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 she was taking care of her mom. So I remember that in my head. And she was taking care of her mom. And
No, 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 no. Not my mother, my daughter. My daughter was hit by a car back in 2021. So she's on life support.
oh,
So it's my daughter.
how old is she?
She's 20 now. At the time she was 16.
So how's that going now?
It's tough. It's tough. That's why I'm fighting so hard to get us back home because of her situation.
So she's still hanging in there?
Yeah, of course. We're expecting a miracle to happen on the end for her. The same way we expecting to go
All
back here.
right. Oh, that's fire hot. All right, Coach M. I'm gonna put your last. Okay, so she put it up here a little while back before we got serious and shit. So I'm all right, Coach M. Thank you for sharing with us tonight. I really appreciate you uh, coming to the show. Coming to the show, and so I'm really impressed too that you caught on and you. Okay, so those people down there now. Okay, those people down there now are they already looked up my shit. They're looking up your stuff and the things you sent them, and they're going to be on a different program now, and it don't really matter what program they're on because when you file that shit, it crushed the state court stuff in the first place. Now they know that your legal team knows that they screwed you over and now you're going back to the table. Okay, but maybe it's the counter. Your ass is going to the counter now, not the table. Okay, because the federal judge threw your ass under the bus to help them. The magistrate judge and the magistrate judge had no jurisdiction to be involved in your case without the signed consent from all parties. And so you added the magistrate judge to your supplemental pleading that you're filing in the state case to get control and blow that shit up. And so if we have to go back to federal court, I don't know how this is. We're just gonna play this one step at a time. Because when you added the federal court judge Brian, whatever the hell his name was, to the state shit for screwing you over on the federal level, and you already had your lawsuit filed in federal court that they ignored to give them time to throw your to get you. Yeah, they got a little situation going on. I don't know how they're gonna handle it. Okay, because if they want to play around on the state shit and continue being stupid, and I told them, excuse me, we told them in the document that you sent them, if they don't get your family back in your house, now the original lawsuit that you filed was only for $5 million because we were sissies then. Now, but we ain't totally sissy now because we're getting a certified copy of the supplemental pleading when she files it on Tuesday, and we're going to use that to file a less penitent lien against the recorder of deeds office and their assets, and we're also going to file the less penitent lien against the land bank. There's a land bank, and the reason we're going to do that because if they don't get her back in the house in the next couple of weeks, we're going to file a supplemental pleading and move that shit up to $200 million. I know she might move it up to $300 million. I don't know. It's up to her. She's my boss. We're moved up to $200 million or $300 million or whatever the hell Coach M decides she wants to put that shit at. And we're going to stick it in the face. And I don't know what they plan to do after that. We don't really care. Because from where I'm sitting, we got it all wrapped up, and they have one choice, and that's the settlement conference. If they ain't interested in a settlement conference, then we'll just go ahead and do a supplemental pleading in the federal court, and all of the people that we add in over here in the state court are going to be added to the supplemental pleading in federal court, including the federal judge. Okay, so now that creates a situation. Okay, the situation is the first time we was over here, they screwed us over, and they tried to help them, and now this person is getting sued for trying to help them. So how can we trust their buddies over there in federal court, the other magistrate judges? No. When you let them know that you ain't listening to the magistrate judge bullshit, they'll send you straight over to the chief judge. Oh, wait. Time out. Time the hell out. The chief judge was the one to send your ass over to the magistrate judge. Oh. Because the shit was too hot for the chief judge, and the chief judge didn't want to accept the liability for getting his or her ass kicked by this beautiful young lady, Coach M. By her stuff. The chief judge, Well, how can we trust that the chief judge is going to be? I don't, I don't even know what word to use there. Fair, honest, straight up, not violate RICO. I didn't know how to put that. So okay, but that's what right now we're to the point where she had a lawsuit filed in federal court. They ignored it. She filed a lawsuit in state court. They ignored it. The state court moved it over to federal court, and then yeah, it's getting. But it ain't complicated for us. It's not complicated for us because we don't roll with limitations. Number one, and number two, we already know there are some bullshit at the gate, starting with the statutes. And okay, at the other gate, usually there's two gates. At the other gate, they're violating your ass. They're violating you in an administrative process that's not even connected to the Constitution. You know, I'm thinking, this young lady, 6 kids, throw that on the street with an administrative process so these players could take over her property, spruce it all up, and turn it into an Airbnb or something. I don't know. An administrative process. Okay, but this is the part that kicks my ass. People that are in this situation have paid for years in this RICO's property scheme bullshit. They pay for years. As soon as you can't pay, you have a death in the family, your 20-year-old kid gets in a car accident and gets severely injured. I didn't even want to know what the bills for that. Did you? Okay. As soon as that happens, then you're struggling and you miss a payment or two. Oh, I know what you guys are thinking. She should pay her bills. Well, not everybody's thinking that, but I have assholes who think that. And I'll tell you right now, she paid to get in the program for the premium service. And then she made a pretty substantial donation to help other people and to get a little personal service, so to speak. I don't know if I want to call it personal service because I'm kind of okay, but they ain't show it back up at her house for a few days or whatever. And we haven't even filed a supplemental pleading. And she's filed the affidavit of denial of corporate existence, whatever bullshit. And in my opinion, that document alone removes her from their bullshit. Now, they don't see it that way, and that's fine. But here's the thing. If this young lady and her kids' asses are back in their house in a short period of time, there's going to be another supplemental pleading. I read the supplemental pleading, whatever, and it's very. It's going to be another supplemental pleading, but this one's going to be to move that shit up to 200 million or whatever Coach M thinks that she needs to have, because I think all of her kids suffer from this shit. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, anyway, I'm thinking 200 million for each. Okay, I don't know. I want to we'll talk about that later. Coach M, thanks for showing up to the show tonight, sweetie. And all of you guys that were here, I appreciate you guys coming and the opportunity to share your time. And as you can see, we serious as hell over here in everything that we do, because I don't play. So I don't play. This is my therapy for not being able to protect my wife and family, my girlfriend and family. And I enjoy my job most of the time. Ow. And I'm going to get out of here so I can get to bed.